Yeah, hi, it's the 11th of June 2018, 12:30 p.m. Uh, I'd like to talk about one of the problems I think could be underlying our problem in mgtow, okay, with men and women generally. It's something that is rarely discussed, and I think it's a real problem, and I think could be at the base of it, and it all gets down to conversation skills. It, typically in my life, I've decided I initiate most conversation. I have to talk and talk and talk, and typically I initiate and I get shot down by the non-initiator, um, and it's annoying. In honesty, I'm at the point of giving up on talking to women altogether. Is I find none of them can actually initiate a conversation, or certainly initiate an entertaining conversation. I've even seen it on the channel. It's all the same type of conversation. It's not only women. There are a lot of men who are no better. I'm sorry. That's the way it is. And I think that's at the problem, at the base of the problem. It's conversation is something. It's so important to the general health of the world. Yet, was there ever a class anywhere at school called conversation? You know, conversation 101 even, anywhere? Does anybody ever discuss it? It's like, go for it, guys, you're on your own. Make up your own conversation. I can't even remember a lesson in it. I can't, I've looked up a couple of things on YouTube about it. It's so important, yet so totally ignored in the world. So I wrote down a few notes this morning. This is not, I haven't, this is not an exhaustive list by any stretch of the imagination, but I categorised conversation styles into four categories. I'm no authority on this. I don't know that anybody is. I don't think anybody ever talks about it. It's treated with such nothingness. And you try and get a woman to talk to you and initiate conversation. Good luck doing that. Okay, I haven't got these well, they are in a sort of order. The first category that I've got is the nothing mode. And this is definitely the non-initiator. It's typically one word or one sentence or just a few word replies. I often see them in comments. I can spot them. They're the use simp. 2 word, big. Sometimes they go as big as 4. Yeah, that's the person, man or woman, who is reacting to the person who initiates a conversation. Okay, in a negative, very negative way. I've given it zero skill. You need zero skill for that. In fact, I spoke to a girl for a long time who must have said LOL, or maybe 25 million times, or at least 25,000 times. That's all she could say. She could not respond to anything other than meaningful than LOL. And I'd say in the time I spoke to her, I maybe got a couple of one paragraph answers and or responses, and I'll talk about that shortly. Okay, that's the style when she moved from zero skill up to what I call low skill. Okay, which is the next one, low skill. All right, I put that under. So the first one is nothing mode. Total waste of time. All a girl can do is really get naked or have sex. That's all she can offer. Okay, guys, I don't know. Get out your phone and play a game or something, because nobody wants to talk to you. All right, you just there's nothing. You're just hard work. All right, so that's the zero skill. The low skill, this is where you actually get to talk a bit, and start to move up the ladder, is attack mode. I've called it attack mode. Okay, and this again, you don't initiate it. It relies on somebody else saying something. So you sit there and wait for somebody to initiate, and then you attack them. Yes, I disagree with this point, this point, this point. Okay, so can you get the idea of that? So you complain about them, okay, or you criticise them, or the group they belong to. Ah, you mgtows. What do you call meows? Someone said, yeah, we should all go away. So just criticise or putting them down. Okay, you or the group. Okay, or you bully them. Oh, you should do it this way. Should, gaslight bullying even. That's bullying. That's all negative stuff. Or you might troll the person. That's a good one. I put that really in low skill. This is also very toxic, all toxic behaviour. And this is where we're at in conversation. Toxic level for the most part. I'd say 75% of people can't get above the toxic level of conversation, of low skill conversation. Well, I'm sorry, that's just it. That's just the way I see it. I talk to a lot of people, I get a lot of comments. Very few are above the toxic level. Okay? And gossiping about somebody in a negative manner is also attack. I call it attack mode. Let's gossip about them, put them down. It's easy pickings. Okay, it's easy to see what somebody else said. And look, it might be on TV or a politician's great one. Oh, they're no good. Really attack mode. Really low skill conversation. Okay. It's right down there. But the truth be known, I can put up with it for a few minutes, but that's about it. Okay, we move up to the next level. I call this the bland mode. All right, this is where you're starting to develop skills, conversation skills, and it's moving out of that toxic level, but it's still bland. Okay, but it's better. It's okay. It's neutral. I call it neutral, and you can initiate in this mode. Once you get to this level, you can start to initiate conversation. Right. So now, it doesn't have to be overly complicated. Right, the weather is a classic one. That's the typical bland conversation that you can initiate. Oh, nice day, isn't it? Bit hard to do online, but it's none of the same. Sport is in the same vein. You see such and such on the weekend. They did well, didn't they? Yeah. A bit hard again online because your sport and our sport is different. Okay, so that's another sort of, but it's acceptable, and that's typically when you crawl up out of the toxic level of conversation and you get to this bland level. It's medium skill, somewhere between low and medium skill. Usually the media or somebody will give you your opinion and you either disagree or agree with it. Okay, that's about how it works. They'll tell you how to think, you think it, and you share those thoughts with somebody else. Often with this one, with sharing opinions, it gets back into attack mode. That toxic level, you fall back into the acid bath. We're in here again. But bland mode can also be a little bit more advanced. You can start finding out about somebody. You can ask them a question. You could just develop a bit of empathy. It's get inside their head, get inside their life a little bit. Move ahead, find out what they're on about, what they're doing. Don't tell them how to live their lives, that sort of thing. No, just find out about them. That's sort of moving to the bland level, okay? You can also, you can discuss a situation. For example, a woman could come onto a mgtow site and actually say, look, I can hear everything you're saying. It's not a good situation, is it? And you'd have to say, as a responsible male, no, it's not. We're very, it's reached about, but typically what we get is, in the toxic level, the attack mode, kill, more of the same. And more of the same, the reason I believe we're in here in the first place, because we're getting out of the acid bath, we're getting out of a toxic situation. We have to do something, we have to go somewhere. We can sit by ourselves, but we have to try to do something to survive. So, and then it's really great when females come in and actually just keep hounding us. It doesn't matter where we go, we can't escape. All right, so that's so you can discuss a situation, any number of situations you can discuss. That's on this bland level. It's opinion based, I suppose, and just don't get too serious about it. That's when you're moving into the medium level of and you can also discuss a problem. I often discuss a problem. You know, this is a discussion of a problem right now. You know, how do you get bloody women to talk? You know, how do you get them out of the toxic level or above the nothingness level? You know, get them straight through attack mode into at least medium. You know, and I'm actually hoping to get them up into the advanced levels, which I'll talk about in a moment. But yeah, this is a problem I have right at this very moment. And so this whole video is actually me, you know, setting out, you know, throwing out some ideas to mgtow. And, you know, someone will say something, it'll give me an idea, and I think, oh, okay, that might help. Yeah. So, yeah, how do you get a woman to move out of the toxic level? Because they sit there and wait for you to say something, the man to say something. After all, it's a man's job, isn't it, to initiate conversation. Fuck knows who made that one up. But then, yeah, he makes up the bloody, initiates conversation, gets shot down. You know, and it's just, and this is, you know, and we've got this equality in the world. Oh, yeah, but when it gets to conversation making, it's a man's job. You know, so if it's equality, why the hell can't women be as amusing and witty and charming as men can be? Why can't the woman take on the role and amuse us for a change? Okay. The other one, of course, is, you know, you could try to convince somebody of something. You know, you might have some point of view that you, which is what I often do on here. I'm trying to convince myself and you at the same time of something. Like, you know, I'm trying to convince you that conversation, you know, and the lack of skills in conversation could be at the root of our problems in mgtow. Because really, if you cast your mind back on your experiences in marriage or whatever, most of it was getting attacked. You're facing attack mode the whole time. Okay? And once and the red pill is actually telling you that. Yeah, that's what happened. You just get attacked here, there. Okay? And to be honest, I'll be flat out and honest here, to reduce, you know, to become stealthy, to avoid attack. Sexually, I have nothing to do with women. Yeah, because that's just leaving yourself, anything there is leaving yourself wide open for attack. You know, the benefit, what did Alan say? The juice isn't worth the squeeze. Yeah, that's it, because it'll come back at you. Yeah, so personally, I stay away from that. It's destroyed my sexual life altogether, but, you know, I have to live and survive somehow. But as soon as you go there, you're open to attack. You know, they're going to find some way to hit you. Yeah, so if you want to defend yourself, and you have to at this point, yeah, because we're not friendly. We're in war mode. The whole thing is war mode. Okay, so but anyway, moving on with that, yeah, to convince somebody of something. That's another thing. It's look, you know, you can be good or bad at it, you know, but it's above toxic level. All right, it's what I call the medium skill. All right. Now, moving up to the high one, this is the high skill. Okay, that's entertainment mode, right? And this is where typically you initiate it, all right? Where you need to be, you know, where you entertain people and you amuse them and you keep them charmed and captivated and that sort of thing. Okay, yeah, this is requiring higher skills. At the lower end of those higher skills, you've got things like tell a story, okay? And you may put an amusing twist on that story, or you may present it in a certain way. But yeah, telling a story is a typical one of, and that may be something that you know, that happened a long time ago, which tends, you know, or somewhere else, you know, it tends to be boring. Okay, but it's moving up into that sort of entertainment value. You know, telling a story about, you know, your travel experience is a classic. That's usually becomes quiet because there's always some drama that happens. You know, it's quite entertaining or something. Besides that, you're in a good mood. You know, you've just been on holidays, you had a lot of fun, and you tend to be telling a good story. Yeah, that's not the only type of story you can tell. You can tell, you know, a story to a person, you know, about a story that happened that you all got involved in just then. You know, something you did, and you tell a story about it. Or you know, I could tell a story about what happened on a Skype conversation. Now, I could do that in a negative, toxic way, or I could put it into, I could put a little twist on it. This is the next point I've got, is putting an amusing twist on situations, or even on the conversation, which is something I often do. find a way that is not putting a person down, not belittling a person, but just finding a way that is amusing. To discuss a person in an amusing manner, and not a harmful, hurtful manner. I'll try and think of an example in a moment, but it's. Yeah, I can't think of an example off the top of my head, but that's this is sort of into this advanced level. Look, you can also have, and I often do this, have conversations. Typically, just depending on the type of, I kind of pretend to be somebody else inside. Harder to do. I think of myself as little Johnny, sort of the little rat, the little rat that's sort of, yeah, and just for a bit of witty, amusing, light-hearted nonsense, and I'll talk about people and situations in a way that little Johnny would, or I don't know, just something where you just put just a little, a little twist on it. Look, okay, here's an example. I was trying to convince Fats over at Fat Guy No More, that maybe you should consider being the Filipino friend of mine too, as a wife, and he was saying something once. Geez, Fats, yeah, the wife of your future children is about to be blown away in a typhoon, and you're talking about what you're going to do on a video. Yeah, and really, of course I wasn't serious. I mean, he has no intention of marrying. He doesn't have any intention of talking to her. But it was just my way of and there was another one where he was driving a what do you call it, a sprayer down the road. And I said, Fats, yeah, Bing's got the hang of that. Yeah, what she's doing is she's watching all your videos, okay, and learning all about your farm equipment and that sort of thing. And she said, yeah, she got the sprayer. Yeah, that's easy. Yeah, she dominates when she drives that. She dominates. I'm not too sure about the soybean planter though. It looks more complicated. And it was just, he liked it, he enjoyed it. It was a bit of fun. I mean, it's not going to happen. And she's not even watching his farm implement videos. I don't think anybody's watching his farm. I do. I love him. Fats, I love him. See, I'm lying. I really like farm machinery. You've got no idea. Yeah, I really, it does something for me. Anyway, that's beside the point. But that's sort of, yeah, even just there. I don't know whether anybody finds that amusing or not, but Fats probably does. Because then I'm sort of saying, I really don't have a lot of interest in farm machinery in a positive way, in a fun way, where I'm actually enjoying, liking his company. Do you think a woman could do that? Nah, you know what a woman's going to say? I can tell you now. Oh, it's boring. I didn't like your video. And why don't you wear a better shirt? So it gets right down to toxic level criticism. There's no way known a woman can actually have fun, with that situation. And laugh and joke about a soybean planter, for goodness sake. I mean, a soybean planter would have to be the most boring thing on the planet, eh? You're planting soybeans. What can you say about a soybean planter? I could talk about a soybean planter with Fats for an hour. And just joking around, mucking around. He wouldn't expect me to have I'm not a farmer. He wouldn't expect a sensible conversation out of it. But he might be open to a conversation that was good spirited, and and wasn't putting down his implement. Okay. And no, but he put down his sprayer. The bloody, I don't know how he drives it. I keep thinking, how on earth it seems like he must have to drive from the farm to a paddock somewhere else. How do they do it? Do they have to? Do they sort of drive like hell at 5 kilometres an hour before another car wants to use the road? I must admit, I'm a bit curious about that. I mean, how bloody smart do you have to be to do? Like a spray unit, takes up the whole road. How do other cars either overtake him or come on? And how far did he have to go? See, that's finding out about a person in the neutral area, and with a bit of amusement twist on it. I mean, it's not hard to do, really. I say it's high skill, but it's not that bloody hard to do. And it depends on having good spirit and a good attitude toward people. That's probably the most important thing. But anyway, that's it. It's almost 20 minutes on conversation. The longest video I've done in a long time. Sorry about that. But yeah, a conversation's a big area to me, and I think I'm going to start pushing it more and more and more. And get people, even on my channel, having better conversations. We can do it. A lot of the conversations are fantastic. Okay, they can be better. Anyway, talk to you later. Bye.